Why, good morning. So, back at Floras Lake, gonna take on the Sixes River. It's at low tide now, so I got about an hour and a half to get there. It was a good low tide too, negative 1.6 feet, so it should be zero by the time I get there. So let's go check this out. The end today will be in Port Orford. Magnificent footbridge. It's a beautiful day. Lake Floras. There's actually a fair bit of navigation during this little trek to Port Orford. So I'm gonna take a look at the inland route here, which goes about 100 yards off the beach. It kind of sticks to this lake edge to start with. So I think I see the trail right there that goes around this. It's really soft sand. I'm hoping it gets the dirt here pretty soon. Hey, that looks more solid footing. So at this point, you could go to the beach and walk on that for like a quarter mile, or you could just go keep on this trail. So I'm gonna elect to keep on this trail. Beautiful footing. Very cool. Wow, it's really dark. Boy, this is a fantastic trail. One of the odd things is that when I see a trail on a map now, I don't really know, is it a real trail or is it just a trail on the map? Because I've seen them be so unmaintained, like Oswald State Park out on the ocean, that man, if there was just far out where you could look at comments, don't take this route, take that route instead. The river was, easy at 2.0 feet tide. Anything like that, I have no idea. Is it going to be a trail like this, which is great, or is it going to be bushwhacking for a solid mile? I don't know. So you leave this straight trail here. Be sure not to walk past this sign. I've done that many times, just daydreaming. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful trees. Dappled sunlight. Gorgeous day. Always thankful for a bridge. Yeah, it looks like the trail from Lake Floras to Port Orford is 14.5 miles. Looks like some people stealth camp here. This is a trail that comes up from the beach if you wanted to beach walk this previous part. Now, dropping down to the beach here. Crossing that you take your time going over. Oh, it looks like somebody set up a better way to cross if you come down off the hill to the right instead of the left. So that's back down where I was. Looks like a fairly common place for people to camp There were a couple campfire plate rings. And it looks like you just follow this ridge for a while. It's pretty straight. A little bit brushy, but fine. Yes, there are plants that brush my legs, but I haven't seen any poison oak yet. Although I've heard tell of some. I don't know if I said this before, but what I use for poison ivy, poison oak in the field, you can use soap, but also hand sanitizer works good. I was on the AT last summer and I sat on this bank waiting for an Uber driver to come. And I put my hand back and I didn't look. And when I looked back, it was poison ivy, a whole bunch of it. And it's like, my hand's a little, itchy. So the guy I was with, he said, oh, just put hand sanitizer on it. And it's like, oh, okay. And boy, it worked great. So keep a good supply of that. Although I've not just seen any poison oak yet. And I have pretty good poison oak radar. Lovely. It's about as good as you can make an Oregon coast jungle trail. I can't think how it could be better. Coming up on a junction, coast trail that way. And this way goes to the airport, which is a possibility if you just can't cross the Sixes River. There's a bail out there to walk to the airport and then walk to 101. Not a short walk. I can tell when I'm the first person through this for a while because you get the big spider webs. Here's a little viewpoint. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a long way down. So more of this going south. Boy, there's no shortages of places to stealth camp in these woods. Whenever I walk now, wherever I walk, I'm always looking at tent sites. Ooh, that's a nice site. I don't care if I'm just in a walk close to my house. It's like, ooh, look at that one. I've not heard any reports of bears in this area, but I always keep my eye out. I was on the PCT years ago, going into Old Station, and just comment on gut hooks back then said that they saw bears and they were going to go north to where there were no bears. I'm thinking, where there is no bears. There's bears in all 48 contiguous states. It's like saying a place where there are no rattlesnakes. No, there are rattlesnakes everywhere. And there are bears everywhere. There are more bears in some spots. Probably still the most concentrated area I've seen is just north of Lake Tahoe. Just bear central. What a nice looking view. Wow. Very cool. Just a very photographic trail. Beautiful light. Coming up on a trail junction. They go right down towards the beach. This way is a alternate shortcut back to the airport trail. So if for some reason you couldn't cross the Sixes River, one of your options is to walk back to here, take that trail back to the airport road, and the airport road back to Highway 101, go over the Sixes River, and then cut back to the beach. Not fun. Just the other way would be to bushwhack your way along the creek side, which sounds like that would take longer than just trying to backtrack. So at this point, you go down to the beach, a couple hundred feet. Some more of the abandoned style sea stacks. Oh, this is just going to be a long video. I just have to get used to it. All right, back on the beach. Looks like some people camp right up in there. Probably a nice camp spot. No tracks on the beach. About 1 mile to the Sixes River. The tide right now is at 0 feet. Man, when the tide's up, it's all the way up on that beach. You can see the lighthouse way out there. It's a very desolate beach. Not even birds. Looks like 2 people. How did they get on this side? I guess it must not be deep. Up on the Sixes River. Looks easy right there. Yeah, it's like more of a lake than it is a river. Right there in that little spit looks easy. I think this one looks good. It's got a pretty good flow to it, doesn't it? You can kind of see out there. There probably is some times when it's tide is so low you can just walk across it. Right there in the sand. Cute little pelican. Okay, well, got up to my knee. Very soft sand. On to, I think we're going to go look at that lighthouse next. Nice spot to put my shoes back on. Back at the Sixes River. For the record, I crossed it at 1.5 feet and it was knee deep. So I think I'm going up over this hill somewhere. Well, the sand has firmed up some. Making my way over to that little lowest niche there in that pit. Well, I think I kind of see something. Little trail right there. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Boy, the sand has just firmed up wonderfully. Nice and solid again. Somewhere up in that crease up there. Maybe I see a little bit of bare sand going up. And there's a stick, but I don't see the trail above that though. I don't know, we'll find out. Oh yeah, well there's the sign. Yeah, it's here. Hiding. Post. Well, I may as well walk out to the lighthouse while I'm here. Looks like a viewpoint to look southward on the beach. Oh yeah. So down there at that point, that's Port Orford. Right there. I'm gonna walk along that beach. So way out there at that point is where I came down out of the woods and walked along the beach. Right there you can see the Sixes River. And I walked up this beach to here. So you come down right there, follow this beach. There's the Sixes. Bada boom, bada bing. Picnic table. You don't see those too often. And the lens is turning. Very slowly. let's head back down to the other beach. Pretty amazing view. Trail up there that goes south. So there are two ways you can go from here. You can take this trail south, or right up at the sign is a road that goes down to a hike and bike. I'm gonna go check that out. The road from the hike and bike does meet up down south. Same distance. Oh boy, they have beautiful sights. Hiker biker, $8 a person. Pretty good. I love how it says campground full, but almost every site is vacant. People just don't show up, I guess. All right, well, that was interesting. Back on the OCT, and I go check out this vacant picnic table. Looks like a long way down. That's what it looks like. All right, to the beach. So that's Port Orchard way out there. So I'm going to walk pretty much right to that little bend right there. That's about 6 miles away. Big wide beach. Cape Blanco Beach. Wonderfully compact sand. Yay. It's actually a fairly desolate beach. No footprints. Boy, that'd be an easy place to camp right up there. Right back to down, out of the wind. It's mesmerizing. Just a mega wide beach. It's probably 200 yards back to those cliffs. Looking backwards to Cape Blanco, now in the fog. Bound to be some easy beach camping in along those trees. 4.5 miles to the turn off to Port Orford. Oh, looks like we got a creek coming up. Yeah, and this is real too. Well, you ain't crossing there. About all I can do is just walk upstream, up against the cliffs up there, and try to cross up there. Man, it's going to be tough. There is a good log there, but you know, you got another 3 or 4 feet. So if you cross over there, then that puts me on the wrong side of the creek. Man, right here, and again, if I didn't see that, boy, I would go that looks pretty weird. The tide is coming in real good. Came out to my crotch. The tide coming in, man. All right, put my shoes back on, dry out. Tide is just coming in. Look at that. I mean, I really could cross it now. Thank goodness those two people crossed it before me, so I wasn't, you know, I could see it was going to be waist high. Man, yeah, the tide is now 5 feet, so that's pretty good deep tide. Yeah, and it just keeps getting higher. I'm glad I crossed it. Wow, you know, that's the real deal. And now I have a soggy bottom. It's just one of those days where you're glad you're walking north to south. Bit of a snug point here. Tide is 6.3. Looks okay though. About 2.5 miles to the, I'll never say it right, to Sarandon State Park. Luckily the surf is very calm. Yeah, this is one of those high tide, steep slope beach, walking on soft sand situations. Boy, the last mile or two has been really soft sand. Super tough going, super slow. Oh, probably what, a mile to that big rock, then hang a left. Boy, the winds are huge. I feel like the back of my legs are getting sandblasted. Well, the slope's a little bit better, so that does make walking much easier. Yeah, this is almost high tide, and it's a 7-foot high tide. It would just be so much easier walking at low tide. But you can't walk at low tide the entire day, because sooner or later the tide's going to come in. That's looking back towards Cape Blanco. So at beach access 161, I'm going to take that. Well, out of the wind. Wow, feels good to walk on a solid surface. This is Agate Beach Road. Oh man, it feels so good to walk on a solid surface. Let me tell you. Time-worn treasures. Boy, there is some old stuff. Lots of old pickaxes. Anchor chain. Wow. Coming up on Highway 101 again. This is Port Orford. So almost at my inn here, which is the Crazy Norwegian Fish and Chips. Gonna have myself chowder and some fish and chips. Boy, Floras Lake seems like 30 miles ago. Seems like a different state. Anyway, boy, that felt like a long way. The last few miles in that soft sand. Oh. Anyway, join me next time. Same bad time, same bad channel to go south.